Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and I hope everybody is having a great Friday. It is currently about 7 p.m., so I do apologize for the late start. The gym took way too long today, and I've had a few business meetings and stuff like that to deal with in the morning, so it's been a very busy day, but nonetheless, we have been watching the charts. We've been watching the markets. I know a lot of people were terrified today on this major dip, or, in my opinion, major opportunity. So, in overall, the market, the settlement was very sort of boring yesterday. And we were honestly kind of waiting for some sort of drop or some sort of pump. Realistically speaking, we've always said that Bitcoin was more so targeting 53K exact. We never got that validation. So I'm glad to see it actually dip down today. I know that we dipped a little bit lower. We actually went to like 52.5K, but we actually went lower on Coinbase, and so it was like about like 51.9K. It was pretty crazy. But overall, I'm numb to these drops anymore, because being in crypto for a fairly long time teaches you that these dips are not anything to be worried about. Realistically speaking, even in terms of the XRP chart, we're still back into these demand zones, retesting the points of major support going all the way back to even, September 20th. Okay, and this is, of course, the week of September 20th. This was around like the 27th, and we're retesting those major, lows that we pretty much made, and I think that this is actually fairly good for a lot of altcoins. It is also kind of clarifying the idea that we are going to be having a lengthening cycle. Now, also, I do want to show you guys real quick, and let's go to the Bitstamp chart. We could really kind of see it here. Just zoom out, okay? Understand that this market is going to play by the rules of what it's going to do. This is a highly manipulated market by whales and stuff like that. But in terms of the charts, nobody should be fearful of these levels. In fact, you could kind of see on the chart right now, the level at which we are testing is some major support, even going back as far as April. Okay, so in my mind, this dip is more so a buying opportunity than a selling opportunity, but of course that is just my overall opinion. Do with that what you will. In terms of the market, though, I think that this is clarifying, like I said, that we will have a little bit of a lengthened cycle into Q1 of 2022 to Q2 of 2022, which is still very good for tax reasons as well. On the 24 hours, some altcoins are jumping back a little bit. We do see, 8%. 12%, almost 16%, but for the most part, most altcoins are kind of sitting stable, which is totally fine. I suspect that this will change very, very soon as well. Now, with this in mind, before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to let you guys know, if you guys do want to get my personal trading indicators and all that kind of stuff, you guys are more so available to on NCashOfficial.com. I do plan on updating this website very, very soon with a lot more content, and of course, if you guys do want to get everything on the website as well as all future content for free, you guys get the Ultimate Crusader Trading Bundle Pack, which is 35% off until the end of the month. But with that being said, let's move on. So we've seen a few updates in regards to the XRP ledger this week. In terms of it kind of being a little bit down, there's been a lot of problems with it. There's a lot of issues currently with the XRP ledger. Now, what is the main problem here? Well, overall, we do see here, of course, Ripple and XRP have been hated from the start. Of course, it's an attack. The ledger still works, though. You just need to raise the fees to the extreme amount of 1 cent per transactions for now. These bums can't stop it. And of course, you do see here, too many trust lines connected to useless projects minting 1,000 trillion tokens each. This is an attack, not an accident. And of course, we do see all of these major, pretty much, if you want to call them garbage coins, essentially being listed on the XRP ledger, utilizing a massive amount of supply. And this is pretty much like a spammed, it's almost like a DDoS, if you will, attack on the XRP ledger. And of course, this has been happening for a fairly long time. When we do see here, did you break the XRP ledger? I'm not technical, but this looks bad. And of course, this is pretty much, it is what it is, right? In terms of what's happening, it's overloading the XRP ledger, which is causing a lot of problems. But it looks more so like an attack with a ton of these major meme coins being listed on the XRP ledger. I suspect that this will probably be fixed very soon. But of course, with that, you deal with what you will. Now let's look at this. We do see here, your crypto is not safe. The SEC Gov will release a list of cryptos they will attack once the Ripple settlement is done. XRP will have clarity, everything else will not. Then what happens to XRP's price? Now I actually disagree with this tweet a little bit, and I actually wanted to discuss this with you guys in general, because I think a lot of people are kind of misinformed on what happens once clarity is in place. It's not just clarity for XRP. Trust me, XRP does get clarity, but think about it like how Kieran is saying here. He says that I think that XRP clarity provides general crypto clarity. If this is resolved without a behind closed doors settlement, Ripple are fighting for everyone really. And that is the truth. If XRP wins, pretty much all of crypto wins. This was always about crypto versus the SEC. And I don't think that, in terms of crypto, yeah, there's going to be a lot of assets that kind of disappear out of the space that don't have, a position within this market. Those are more so like meme coins. But for the most part, a lot of these assets that are doing, pretty much very well in terms of their ecosystem growth and their utility cases, those are going to prosper ahead. So I don't totally agree with this, but it does make a little bit of sense if you look at it in the idea on, utility tokens will pretty much get the green light. A lot of those tokens that don't have any use will probably get the red light. Now with this, we also look here. I truly believe that XRP would be double digits by now. I'm so shocked at how it's been played out and very frustrated, but I keep faith due to the tech, utility, and teams building on the XRP ledger. And of course, in terms of a lot of people, right? Everybody's frustrated. A ton of people are very frustrated within what is happening with the XRP lawsuit, what's happening with XRP's price, and I do completely agree that we would be at double digits. If you guys watched Blockchain Backer's video, he pretty much goes in depth on how we would have been at $10 plus by now, and a 10x from there would have been $100 XRP, which if we are looking at XRP going to like, $7 to $13, yeah, that's pretty significant because we would have been at already $70 to $130 by the end of this bull run, which, like I said, with the lengthened cycle, is definitely possible if we would have got to $10 by now, which we would have been if it wasn't for the SEC. Now we do see here, true brother, but remember timeframes invalidate perfect setups. We'll get there, and it is the truth. We will get there in time. We just have to be a little bit more patient. Now also, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about this. Now this comes from Jerome Powell from the Federal Reserve. I did listen to this closely in a video from, I believe, yesterday or the day before. And this was one of the points that I wanted to really kind of talk more so about. Listen closely to this.
The partnership will support our analysis of digital currencies, including central bank digital currencies, help to improve our current payment system, with a particular focus on making cross-border payments faster and less expensive, and it will provide new tools to aid our supervision of the financial system.
And this is what I've been talking about for a very long time. The new financial system that is getting ushered in is going to really focus on cross-border payments. It's going to make them faster. It's going to make them more cost-effective as well. What do you think they are going to choose for that main use case? I know that they're not mentioning XRP at all, but we know in our minds that XRP is never going to be named within something like this. We have to speculate a little bit and think to ourselves, what is happening right now? In my mind, I think that this is XRP. I can't see anything else helping them within that space. Swift is not going to help them achieve cheaper and faster cross-border payments. They need something like XRP. Now we also see here, boom, Reserve Bank of India will use Ripple XRP as a CBDC. In fact, all banks of India will use XRP Ledger. It's confirmed they will use Ripple XRP. They are working with Ripple since 2015-2016. Official website, Reserve Bank of India. We check back here, check this out. Distributed ledger technology, blockchain, and central banks. And of course, this is all talking about distributed ledger technologies, how they could pretty much help, the key concepts of them, pretty much everything. And they also do say, to illustrate, Hedera Hashgraph, developed by Lehman Baird in 2016, is not a blockchain, but comes under the DLT umbrella. So they are not, they're not, just focused on one blockchain or, Hashgraph technology. They're focused on multiple DLTs as well. But the main ones, we do see here, Axis Bank, 2017, Axis Bank launches Ripple-powered instant payment service for retail and corporate customers. And that goes back to 2017. Pretty interesting, right? Now we also see, of course, Ripple, POC, to explore the synchronized movement of two different currencies in two different simulated real-time gross settlement RTGS systems. And of course, the DOT platform is interledger protocol. And of course, this is July 2017. And we always talked about interledger protocol essentially being all of the money. Now, we also see here, of course, Axis Bank launching international payment service using Ripple's enterprise blockchain technology, and HSBC India and Reliance Industries Ltd. executing blockchain-based trade finance transaction HSBC India November 2018. So it's interesting to say the least. In my mind, all of these will be working within a private ledger. Just so you guys know, when we're talking about XRP and pretty much the future of CBDCs, private ledgers, all that kind of stuff, most of these CBDCs will be built within a private ledger asset or just a private ledger scene in general. For an example, like I said, I bet that private ledger for CBDCs is working just fine. And of course, it most likely is, because this is talking more so about the XRP ledger and the problems that occurred within it. But in terms of those private ledgers, those are going to be a very key point for central banks to utilize those, because it's going to allow them to have control over those currencies and pretty much see within the transactional data flow to see pretty much everything from an overall standpoint on control, or just kind of seeing the distribute process of those. In my mind, I think CBDCs on a private ledger is the best way to kind of move forward with central banks adopting crypto, or DLTs in general, because DLTs in my mind are definitely the future of digitized and an overall tokenized future in terms of cash and currency. So that's very interesting. And then, of course, we do see here Volante Technologies cross-border. The time is now. As globalization drives cross-border payments volumes, the provision of real-time, friction-free cross-border capabilities will provide or prove important for banks. And of course, the best part about this, okay? So this is talking more so about cross-border payments and opportunity for monetization through modernization. They're talking about 24/7, 365 days of the year. Of course, they're talking about G20, pretty much all of those major individuals around the world. We're talking more so about the current cross-border landscape, values and volumes and expectations. They are seeing here predicts that by 2022, there will be 6,000 billion cross-border transactions. Pretty crazy to say the least. And we are seeing here showed that cross-border payments totaled $130 trillion in 2019, generating $224 billion in revenue as a result. And of course, they are seeing here, while 2020 saw a decline in transactions, most likely due to COVID, of course, which I believe that this could be heightened at least 2x if they utilize something like this. Now, they are seeing here proof of value for cross-border collaboration. They're talking more so about pretty much, just overall where we could see in terms of interoperability, because we are seeing here a centralized infrastructures move towards real time. There are also aims to provide interoperability between countries, creating real-time cross-border payments, such as the Asian network, I believe, or ASEAN. I'm not too sure on that, but anyways, in terms of the revenue, right? We're talking more so about a ton of revenue. We're talking about a ton of transaction flows, and all of this is most likely using Swift. Now, the best part about this is we do see our collaboration for change, making cross-border transformation a reality. Next-generation cross-border mechanisms such as Swift GPI, Ripple, Visa B2B, Visa Direct, and others are rapidly gaining traction. If banks do not modernize their legacy services, competitors will close the gap. And I think that this is the best part of this entire article, is the idea that they need to modernize. We do see here Volante allows banks to realize the opportunities of the fast-growing market by accessing the full range of cross-border payment clearing and settlement mechanisms, traditional and next generation, in one modern cloud-native platform. And of course, we are seeing here the challenges include time to market and ability to access multiple payment networks, managing direct or different flavors of ISO 222 messaging formats globally, greater automation of the end-to-end process, especially around routing and reconciliation, ability to launch data-driven services to increase visibility, tracking, and confirmation of payments, simplifying innovation and adoption of the new schemes. And of course, this is all going hand in hand with ISO 222. And of course, here's the future of what we could expect. We're talking about 24/7, 265 services, which I don't know why it's 265. I mean, that's kind of weird. Maybe they pretty much made a mistake there. But of course, there's going to be a lot of cross-border payment clearing and settlement mechanisms. And like I said, in terms of CBDCs, we know that DLTs are going to be the main focus here, because even Jerome Powell from the Fed of the U.S. is even talking about that as well. And I'm very excited to see this all unfold in front of our faces. We've been seeing a lot of stuff happen within the Ripple ecosystem, utilizing XRP, of course, and I'm very excited for the future, and that is why I'm saying, in terms of where we are at right now in prices, and I know that the market sentiment right now is bearish for a lot of people. A lot of people are probably, scared, they're panicking, whatever the case may be. Like I said, I'm very numb to this drop because, realistically speaking, even if we're going off of these highs, this drop is really nothing. We're talking about like a 35% drop, which it's nothing that we haven't seen before. Even if we're going back to September, right? This was actually a deeper dip than what we just seen recently, and this actually allowed for us to move up pretty high. I mean, this was like a 56.86% pump after that. If we repeat that same pump, I know that it might not be a crazy pump, but we're pretty much back over a $1.40. So, I expect some major targets to be made here. I'm expecting some sort of, pretty much a repeated pattern going all the way back to 2017, 2018 to play out very soon, most likely within the next 2 months on XRP. Of course, if we have the lengthened cycle that we are talking about, a lot of people suspect that we could be pretty much pumping all the way until May. So, I mean, that could be really good for us. I mean, we could pretty much hit those major targets that we've been talking about, which is like $20 to $30. It's hard to say. Of course, we have to watch Bitcoin to have that validation. But, of course, I'm very bullish on things, as you guys know. With that in mind, of course, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.